Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 751st Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I put onto YouTube. This is a Barbarian Invasion battle, and we've been playing Barbarian Invasion for the last 2 Sundays, and we've really enjoyed these battles, and I thought I'd just put this one on to show you. So this is like a Bank Holiday Monday special battle for you to watch. And as I say, it's a Barbarian Invasion battle. As I say, we played Barbarian Invasion last Sunday, and we played Barbarian Invasion last night. And I think all of us think it's a really great game, and that's why I wanted to show you exactly what we're actually doing, like with Barbarian Invasion. We've got different rules on here. We've got 12 cavalry max, including horse archers. We've got 2 artillery max. We've got 4 berserkers max. And we've got 2 Elis max and 2 Roman armies maximum per team, because Rome is very tough in this game, so we find, to make it fair, 2 Roman armies as a maximum on each team there, per team, if people want to bring Rome. So just to even things out a bit. Okay, so you'll see that this battle was fought on my favourite map, the Germanic Forest map, where you can fight out in the open if you want, or as we've said before, you can hide your troops in the woods and spring those nasty ambushes. And of course, if you bring barbarian troops, you get the winter bonus and the woods bonus too. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Firstprime. Now, he's bought the Alemanni faction. Okay, this is a pretty tough faction. We should have a look at some of the units there. If you have a look here, you'll see these are chosen axemen. If you look closely at their axes there, you'll see they are effective against armour, and these guys can cut wide swathes through enemy troops, heavily armoured troops like Roman infantry. So make no mistake, they're pretty good, tough troops there. And here's the infamous Lombard berserkers with their double-handed swords. These guys are very tough. They bring a massive fear factor. And just to say, morale is very important in Barbarian Invasion, so to bring a berserker unit that saps morale from enemy troops on Barbarian Invasion is a really good tactical move. Apart from their attacking specifications, they're really good. And here you'll see that Firstprime has bought the Burgundian Lancers. Now, these are heavy cavalry, but they're fast-moving cavalry as well. So you imagine having the benefit of heavy cavalry, but fast-moving as well. So that's a good move, I think, for him to bring those cavalry there. So that's Firstprime's Alemanni army there. As I say, we're kind of learning this game, so it's all new to us, and it's quite exciting actually. Our next teammate is Danny here, and he's got the Eastern Empire rebels. Okay, there's 4 different factions of Rome in this game, and that's Danny's selection there. And there where you can see he's got his Plumbarteri. Can you see they're carrying those little iron darts there that are effective against armour, and they've got loads of these, and they can be absolutely devastating throwing these effective against armour darts into enemy troops. They can actually devastate enemy troops before they even get into hand-to-hand fighting. So they are really good troops to bring. They're quite tough as well when you do get into the hand-to-hand fighting. And as I say, Danny's got a lot of those, so he's got a lot of missiles. And then he's got his Equite Clibanarii cavalry. Now, make no mistake, these guys are possibly the toughest cavalry in the game. See, like those rolling pins they're carrying there, those are actually effective against armour maces there. Okay, and as I say, these guys, never underestimate these Equite Clibanarii. They are really tough cavalry, armoured from head to toe. I mean, you know, these are tanks of the ancient world there, so make no mistake, they're pretty tough. And then he's got his carriage ballistae there. Okay, if you have a look there, you'll see there's a close-up of them. They fire missiles into enemy troops. They're fast-moving, and they can cause major casualties, these guys can. Imagine that, being able to move these around the battlefield really fast and shooting the missiles into enemy troops. And as I say, we were really surprised on how devastating these units can be. So we only allow 2 of those maximum per Roman army. Okay, our next teammate is JGP. Now, he's got the Roman Western Empire faction there. As I say, there's 4 different Roman factions here, and he's got his Plumbarteri there, carrying their effective against armor metal darts, and he's got, I think, all his infantry are Plumbarteri, and make no mistake, the devastating firepower that they can put onto enemy troops is absolutely amazing. And he's got his Sarmatian Auxiliary Cavalry. These are pretty tough cavalry. Obviously they've just got swords. They haven't got effective against armor, maces or anything like that, but they are quite effective there, and it'll be interesting to see how well he uses them. And I see he's got, 7 upgrades. He's got an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack on them there, and of course he's got a carriage ballista as well. As I say, and we're learning this game still, so as I say, you might see some mistakes. Our armies are still not as good as they're going to get in time, but it's all a learning curve there. And our last team is myself, Spartan Commander, who have got the Franks faction here. This is the first time I played with these for a long time there. You can see I've got the Horde Chosen Swordsmen. They're pretty tough infantry, but they can also form a shield wall, as you will see later. And shield walls can be quite effective in this game. And then we got the Francisca Herbands there. Okay, these are Franciscan Herbands there. And see those effective against armor axes? Those are actually throwing axes. So these guys can throw axes into advancing enemy troops, causing them major casualties there. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do. And then they've got their archers. Now these archers are they're just mid-range, pretty poor defense, not really good. There's some really great elite archers in this game, but these aren't them. Not so good there. You can see I've got a couple of artillery pieces there, 2 artillery max, the rules in this game. And then I've got the paladins. Okay, now these cavalry here are some of the best cavalry in the game. Very underestimated, but they are very good. If you look at their specifications and you put good upgrades on them, they can be absolutely excellent cavalry. Very underestimated. The infantry of the Franks isn't really great. It's okay, average, but these paladin cavalry really can make a difference in the battle, as we might see a bit later. So there's our team. It should be a cracking battle for you to watch. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought I'd show you my infantry formation here, and you can see this shield wall. Do you remember I was telling you about those troops that can form a shield wall? And there you are, that's the shield wall there. And then imagine enemy troops trying to break through this solid shield wall here. Look, very difficult, wouldn't it, I think? And also I've got my Francisca Herban in behind the shield wall there, so they can throw their effective against armor axes over the heads of the shield wall there, like, can you see? So that's what I thought there. Put the shield wall in front there to take the impact of any infantry or cavalry attack that comes in, but all the time my Francisca Herban can be throwing their effective against armor axes into the advancing enemy troops there. Should be interesting to see how well that formation does during the course of the battle. And here is Firstprime's battle formation there. If you notice there, his army basically consists of all chosen axemen with their effective against armor axes there. Okay, very powerful. And then he's got his 4 berserkers with 8 upgrades on each, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So that looks like a pretty good battle formation to me. Be interested in see how it does. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member TR, who has got his faction of choice, the Sassanids. He's been playing with this faction for the last couple of Sundays. You've got his horse archers there, very fast moving and can do a lot of damage. Horse archers are very effective in this game. And then he's got his Clibanarii cavalry. Now make no mistake, these are really tough with their effective against armor maces there, as you can see. These are really tough cavalry there. As you can see, they're armored from head to toe, like the tanks of the medieval age there. Very tough. And then you've got his camels there, armored camel riders as well. Unusual to bring camels on a non-desert map. Obviously there's no desert bonus here because we're on a winter map, so it's unusual to see camels, but of course this is all experimental for us anyway, so we're just trying to learn the game. He's got his mountain slingers there. If you look at the little pouch on their belt, that's where they keep their slingshots in there. So let's say TR always brings a very diverse army, lots of different units in his armies there. You can see you've got the desert archers there. They've got long range, very effective. Once again, of course, they're not on a desert map, so there's no bonus for them, but they are very effective archers. And he's got his Sugdian warriors. Now these Sogdian warriors are effective against armor because you can see they're carrying effective against armor maces. So Sassanids faction's really tough. Lots of good units in this particular faction. And there's the elephants. Now the Sassanids are the only faction in the game with elephants. You can see they got archers on their back. They bring a big fear factor, and make no mistake, used properly in this game, these can be battle turning troops, battle winning troops they can be. So as I say, that's TR's faction of choice, the Sassanids. Very diverse Sassanid army that he's bought there. Be interesting to see how well he does with that. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman, who's got the Saxon faction there. If you notice there, he's got the 120-man levy spearman units out in front of his main battle formation. Now, the simple reason he's got these big units is because they're cheap, and they're there to soak up the missiles from the Roman troops there that we talked about earlier. There's such a volume of missiles coming in from Roman troops. That's why he's got those. And then he's got these Saxon Hearth troops here. These are really tough infantry. If you look at their swords there, you might be able to just see the serrated edge of the swords there. These are really tough infantry. Check out their specifications there, especially with fully upgraded upgrades on like they've got there. And then he's got his effective against armor axemen as well. As we talked about before, these can cut wide swathes through heavily armored troops there. If you notice though, he's gone basically all infantry. He's got his armored cavalry general is the only cavalry unit he's got in his army. So as I say, he's really got an infantry based army here, and that's a very powerful faction, the Saxons are. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Cormac. Now Cormac's got the Roman Eastern Empire faction there. There's say 4 different types of Roman factions in this game. You're a Plumbarti. He's gone for the Plumbarti there, look, throwing those little iron discs. And I think he's got 1 eagle unit there. There you are. I think it's I think they call that here. It's an eagle unit. I think it's called the Comitatenses unit there. Comitatenses, I think that's what they call it. And of course, that eagle unit will give a morale bonus to the troops there. Let's say, and they throw spears as well. They throw pilers actually. And then he's got his Equite Cataphractori cavalry there. Now these aren't effective against armor cavalry, but they are very strong, thunderous cavalry there. Let's say Rome has got a very, very good cavalry there, and he's got a religious unit as well. I noticed there, give him morale bonus to his troops. And we go into the woods here. And their teammate is someone called OTD Chinrazig, but is in fact Scorpion SR, and he's got the Ostrogoths here. There's his cavalry there, look. Pretty tough cavalry these guys are, Gothic noble cavalry. So these are Ostrogoths faction here, and I think if I remember right, he's got 7 upgrades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe just 7. Yeah, there are 7 upgrades: an experience, stripe, gold shield, gold attack on them. And he's got his archers here. Now these archers here are long range, can do a lot of damage. The Goth Raiders, very, very good archers, tough as well. When they run out of arrows, they're good enough to be light infantry. And he's got a lot of those as well. Now here's something I want to show you. Now Barbarian Invasion, having morale, a good morale is very, very important, and bringing religious units is a good tactical move, because you get a lot of mass routes on Barbarian Invasion simply because the morale of a lot of units are so low. Okay, that's what causes a mass route. So to bring religious units to boost the morale of your troops is a really good tactical move, and that's what Scorpion King's done there. So there's the 2 teams' armies. Should be a great one for you to watch. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle, you'll see Scorpion King being his usual aggressive self, running his Ostrogoth army across here to engage my Frankish army. There's his fast-moving armoured cavalry general going for my archers there, and then I'm going to counter him with my paladins there, like, and bang, routed his general there. That's good news. I don't think we killed the general there, but we certainly did rout it there. So that's very good news. That we've done that, so pleased with that. But as I say, you can see Scorpion King here, as I say, being his normal aggressive self, bringing his Ostrogoth there. There's his infantry. We didn't see those earlier. The Gothic warriors, they're pretty tough. If you look at their swords, can you see how they're curved at the end? So they're not really for stabbing, they're more for slashing, those particular swords there. So as I say, that's the Ostrogoth army of Scorpion Kings making its way towards my troops there. Now remember that when we looked at our army builds earlier, I've got 2 artillery units there, which I could use on those Ostrogoths there. And here you can see Danny bringing some of his cavalry across here. Looks like he's going to hit those archers there. But if you notice there, Scorpion King running those archers back and bringing his infantry forward there to counter Danny's cavalry. And I think that was a good move there by Danny to pull his cavalry back. He didn't really want to get involved with that infantry there. Okay, so as I say here, you can see the enemy troops moving towards my Frankish army here. And here you can see Danny's brought his ballista, his carriage ballista units over here as well, shooting missiles into the enemy troops. Make no mistake, these carriage ballistas are very, very effective. We class them as artillery, so in our games we're only allowed 2 artillery max. So there you can see there, they shoot the missiles in, and those missiles they shoot in go deep into enemy ranks there. You can see them go through several units there, killing men as it goes through the units there. So very effective those carriage ballistas are. If you notice here, I've moved my infantry over here behind the cavalry shield there that my allies have brought over. Here's my cheap mid-range archers there shooting into the enemy troops there. And I say those carriage ballistas of Danny's there really will make inroads. Those missiles make real inroads into the enemy formations there. You can see my artillery already starting to hit those Ostrogoth infantry there as they're moving across the battlefield towards my troops there. But if they just stand there, look, they're just going to get blown to pieces by my artillery. So Scorpion King's got to make a decision here if he's going to attack. Oh my god, I don't believe it. I think one of my own fire pots just took out my general. There you go. You can see the one of my fire pots was so inaccurate, it's just shot a fire pot into my general unit and killed my general. So yeah, I know we've talked about how inaccurate fire pots are, but that was a real example of that. So my own units just killed my general. So not so good there. Right, and here comes the Ostrogoth army here. Now, I wouldn't think Scorp's going to take my shield wall on head on. He's probably going to look to go around the flank and try and get an advantage there on the flank of my battle formation there. Can you see him moving forward there? You see, oh my gosh, I think one of my fire pots just hit another one of my units. Bang! Oh, that was a good fire pot hit on one of Scorp's units there, reduce that unit down. So that was a good hit there. But as I say, if you just stand there, look, you're going to get blown to pieces. He's going to have to make a decision there, I think. If we move further on down the battle line here, you'll see that you've got Danny facing Cormac, but also we've got JGP facing Cormac as well. So poor old Cormac's facing 2 Roman armies at the moment. See the darts there? Those Plumbarti darts. I think they're called Plumbarti there. And they're, as I say, effective against armour. They travel a long distance. You'd be amazed at the range that they've got as well. And of course they are effective against armour, so they do a lot of damage. Meanwhile over here in the woods here, you'll see that Firstprime is bringing his lancers forward. It looks like one of his berserkers has been activated there with his fast moving lancer moving forward. I'm guessing that that Sassanid fast moving horse archer unit there may well have triggered that berserker unit to be activated there. I'm just guessing there, I'm not completely sure. But as I say, poor old Cormac here is facing 2 Roman armies here. And I think this is only about the second time he's ever played Barbarian Invasion. Look at those Plumbarti effective against armoured darts. It was just like raining darts on each other there. And I say, very, very effective. Those darts are at destroying enemy units. Okay, so as we thought over here, that Scorpion King's not going to attack my shield wall head on. He's going to come round the flank there. That's what he's looking to do. So that's a nice tactical move. He's got his cavalry locked and loaded. 7 cavalry units there, locked and loaded there, ready to charge in. As I say here, look, he's going to hit the corner of my battle formation here by the looks of it. There you are, look, bang, straight in there as he charges in there. So that was a good move by him as he's attacking there. Let's say Frankish infantry are okay. They're not brilliant. I would say very average infantry myself. It's the paladins, it's the cavalry that are really good here. Here, as I say, you can see JGP moving into Cormac there, and as I say, you got Danny there as well. So poor old Cormac there facing 2 Roman armies. That's the last thing you want to do on Barbarian Invasion, because believe me, Roman armies on this game are extremely tough, and with the missile troops they've got, as I say, they can destroy loads of units before you even get in hand-to-hand fighting. There you are. You can see the Saxon troops of Barclayman and the Sassanid troops of TR moving in here, maybe to hit JGP in the flank, but they need to move in quick because I think Cormac needs some help there. Now over here you'll see there's a bit of a tussle going on between Firstprime's Lancers there, his fast moving Lancer unit, and those Sassanid cavalry there. So it's a bit of a tussle going on there. It'd be interesting to see who wins that. But as I say, those Lancers, that's all they can use is their lances, and they're up against effective against armour maces of the Sassanids there. And I see there's a couple more Sassanid units coming in there, so I'm not sure how long those Lancers will last against that. But here, over on our left flank here, you can see those Ostrogoth cavalry looking to charge into the flank of my infantry. Get ready for the impact of this, and bang! As they smash in there, they could rout my entire infantry hitting from that side there. And bang! As they charge in, look at the penetration of that cavalry, and look how my infantry is routed. But I'm going to counter-attack with my paladins, and bang! As my paladins attack those Ostrogoth infantry and cavalry. Right, let's pause the game for a second here, so you can see that most of my infantry has now been routed by that concerted infantry and cavalry attack by Scorpion King with his Ostrogoth army. Okay, like I say, the Frankish infantry is just pretty average there, and it's been routed, but I am now counter-attacking with my paladins there. And remember, the paladin cavalry is some of the best cavalry in the game, but I'm up against Ostrogoth infantry and cavalry there. But it wouldn't surprise me if my allies came over to give me a hand here on the left flank, because otherwise our left flank will be smashed and crashed there. Right, here you'll see that Danny and JGP are really making a concerted effort here to try and take out Cormac there. Remember that that thunderous Roman cavalry there, the Equitae Clibanarii, where they're effective against armour maces, very effective. The Sassanid and Saxon armies there of the enemy team need to get up here quick, I think, to support Cormac, or I think his army is in danger of being completely routed there. As I say, Roman armies in this game really tough, and one Roman army up against 2 is not going to last very long. And here you can see that Firstprime's brought his Alemanni army over from the other flank. I think he's lost all his cavalry at this time. The Sassanids finished off his Lancers there, so he's just got his infantry there at this time. But as I say, you can see me charging my paladin cavalry into the enemy troops there, and bang, as I smash in there. So my paladins now are fighting both cavalry and infantry of the Ostrogoths. Okay, but as I say, these paladin cavalry, some of the best cavalry in the game. I forgot how good they were till I fought in this battle. And if you notice now, as I say, I'm fighting both cavalry and infantry here against these with my paladins there. So just goes to show how good they actually are there. My artillery now, I'm targeting the Saxon infantry that's moving up there. Going to try and hit them with fire pots. But as I say, I think Cormac's actually held quite well here with his Roman army against these 2 armies that are facing him. But as I say, these Equitae Clibanarii cavalry here of Danny's, where they're effective against armour maces, make no mistake, they are thunderous cavalry. When they charge, they really do can make huge penetration, and when they get into melee, you can just leave them there fighting with their effective against armour maces. Very, very good cavalry there. But as I say, here you see that, as we thought, my allies are coming over to help. Firstprime has brought his Alemanni troops over here, including activating 2 berserkers here against the Ostrogoths. So that's a nice bit of support there by Firstprime there, and you can see I think we've actually routed all of Scorpion King's army now. Okay, but remember, we're all still learning this game, so you're going to see things like this happen because, I say, you know, when you're learning a game, you try different stuff. You can see Danny here bringing over some reinforcements to help as well. Really good teamwork here on our left flank here, as well as JGP and Danny attacking Cormac's Roman army there, trying to take him out there. You can see that JGP is facing Cormac's army, but also he's being attacked on the flank by these Saxon troops. Now, make no mistake, these Saxon troops are elite infantry. with their effective against armor axes, plus they've got those really great infantry, sword infantry as well. But at the rear here, I'd just like you to make a note of the elephant and cavalry of TR here, but just make a note of that elephant unit, please, because something could happen later on in the battle that could just turn things around. Okay, just give you a heads up on that. So here anyway, you can see our left flank is now held. We've routed all the Scorpion King's Ostrogoth troops there, and now we can turn our troops maybe onto Cormac's army there as we move down the line there towards the other enemy troops. There's a Berserker unit, a Lombard Berserker unit there. Look, remember when Berserkers are activated, they just go for the nearest enemy unit, and there you are, you can see them smash into that enemy infantry. Just look at the size of the Berserkers in comparison to the Roman infantry there. See how massive the Berserkers are, muscular and taller than ordinary units. But over here, you'll see that both TR with his Sassanid troops and Barclayman with his Saxon troops there really attacking the Roman troops. Now, what we found is that elite infantry like this, if they get into hand-to-hand fighting with the Romans, like if they can avoid the massive missile hits, they can take out Roman infantry there. So make no mistake about that, the Saxon infantry really elite, and those Sassanids, Sogdian warriors with their effective against armor maces, very elite as well. Okay, so now we've taken out, I think, most of Cormac's army, if not all of it, and we can free up all of these troops now and charge down into the Saxon troops there that seem to be waiting for us to attack. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second here. So a heck of a lot of JGP's, if you like, Red Roman troops there have been routed. Okay, you can see a lot of his troops there being routed there by the enemy troops there. The combination of those Saxon infantry, elite Saxon infantry, and the Sassanid infantry as well here. Okay, but we've got all these troops here. We can now smash in to those Saxon troops if we want there. Okay, so that's good news for us. Now we've taken out Cormac's army. As I say, Cormac I thought held very well there, but against two armies there, he didn't really have much of a chance. Right, you can see what's left of my Paladin cavalry. I'm going to try and get in behind the enemy troops and try and smash into the rear of them as they're engaged. That's what I'm looking to do with my Paladin troops there. But you can see Danny's green Roman troops there really attacking the enemy Saxon troops there. You can see that some of Cormac's infantry and cavalry have rallied, and he's brought them back into the fray. There you can see my Paladins charging in there, and you can see JGP's red cavalry charging in there as well. Okay, so you can see that both, as I say, JGP's and my Paladins there were charging into the back of those Saxon troops there, those engaged Saxon troops, try and take them out. Okay, if we can do that, then I think, you know, sometimes you can get a mass rout going on this game, so that's something we may well look at there. But you can see there's a heck of a lot of Saxon elite infantry there. You can see I'm charging my some of my infantry, rallied infantry into them as well. But you've got those Sogdian warriors of the Sassanids there coming into the fray as well. JGP just bringing those in as well. But if you notice there, we're routing a heck of a lot of those Saxon infantry now with that cavalry hit that JGP and myself brought in there. Hammer and anvil attack. Danny's green Roman infantry with an anvil and our cavalry with a hammer. Okay, now over here you can see the Sassanid cavalry and that elephant unit heading towards us. Right, now in a second here you'll see Firstprime's Alemanni army attacking the Sogdian warriors of TR's Sassanid units there. Plus you got Danny's units in there as well there as we're starting to attack. So most of the Saxon troops of Barclayman have now been routed. So it's all about the Sogdian infantry. But do you remember I said to you earlier, make a mental note about this elephant unit? Okay, now you're allowed 2 elephants max in this game, and I see TR has just bought 1 elephant there. You can see the archers are shooting into us already. You can see TR getting cavalry in behind our team as well there. Okay, but as I say, here you'll see a lot of our troops attacking those Sogdian warriors that are holding really well. But I just want you to make a note here of this elephant unit coming in here. Okay, now we've never seen an elephant strike on Barbarian Invasion before, so what we're going to do now is see this elephant unit here, see how effective it is on Barbarian Invasion. He's going to charge into the flank of Firstprime's Alemanni army, and Danny's got some of his Roman troops in there as well. So let's see what one elephant unit can do on Barbarian Invasion. Okay, so here comes the elephant. Get ready for this. And bang! As he smashes in there. Oh my gosh! Look at all those troops. It's just flicking up into the air with their tusks. Oh my gosh! That's just one elephant hit. And look at all the units that have just routed. Basically, I think all of Firstprime's Alemanni unit, plus my Frankish troops that were there, have just been routed by that one elephant hit. Just look at the casualties there that's been caused by that elephant hit. You can see there that that was one massive elephant hit. So, as I say, we allowed 2 elephants max, and TR just decided to bring 1. But look at that damage, the damage that he's just done there. Plus, you've got all these Sassanid cavalry in behind us as well, which can attack into the rear of us. If they did a combined attack of that cavalry charging in as well as that elephant, then I think they'd have got a mass rout. I don't know what you guys think there. But also here you got the elite archers of TR here. Those desert archers will be shooting arrows into us as well, causing us lots of casualties. They've been shooting. You notice he's got them in close tight formation for more impact and more damage there. But as I say, you can see a heck of a lot of our units have just been routed by that one elephant hit there. Here we can see JGP smashing into the back of those Sugdian warriors with his cavalry there, and bang, as he charges in there, trying to cause them as much casualties as he can by getting him behind. But oh my gosh, if you look now, I think you'll see, there you are, there's the Alemanni general has been routed, and if you look, all the Alemanni units that were just attacking have now all been routed by that elephant hit. Plus those units that Danny had in there as well have all been routed as well. So that one that one elephant strike has just, well, basically turned the battle. What do you think? I think he's just turned the battle with that one elephant strike. And if he'd have combined that elephant strike with his cavalry as well, I think he would have got an even more massive mass rout there. But as I say, you can see, I think all the elephants are dead now. I think all those Sassanid elephants are dead, but they did the job that TR wanted them to do. So luckily Danny's still got some of his green Roman infantry left there. But here you are, you can see those Sassanid cavalry using their effective against armour maces. There, look, can you see those effective against armour maces? Using them against those Roman troops. But I see there's a berserker unit in there as well. There, that's an effective against armour mace. But there's a berserker unit in there as well, which could tip the balance there against those Sassanid cavalry. Those Sassanid cavalry are probably quite tired anyway. They've probably been fighting for a while there. So, unfortunately, I don't think TR's got many infantry units left. It looks like all his infantry's been taken out as well. But if a Sassanid general goes, the Sassanid generals goes there, TR, then that's, as I say, morale is a big thing in this game. And they were the berserker units, Firstprime there, I think tipped the balance there against that cavalry, as well as Danny's Roman infantry there. So, I say that's the cavalry, last of the Sassanid cavalry gone there. Right, now I've got 1 unit left, and that's it. That's all I got left out of my entire Frankish army is 1 mid-range archer unit. That's everything I've got there. Here you can see JGP using his cavalry to try and take out these desert archers of the Sassanids. But notice how tough these archers are, still holding against that cavalry. Look, he might well take that cavalry back out and charge it back in there, just to get a full charge bonus. It's possibly something he might do. There's another cavalry unit charging in there. But I think this is all of the enemy troops that are left now, and it looks like we're managing to rout them now. So it looks like our our team just about managed to go on to win the battle. There, that's I think the last of the enemy troops have just admitted defeat. But what a close battle that was there. I just thought it was fascinating to see that elephant strike that really nearly did us in. As I say, that's the only unit I've got left, a mid-range cheap archer unit out of my entire army there. Danny's still got some of his green infantry left there. He's still got those left. He's still got quite a few units there. He's still got left. But I think Firstprime's got 1 rallied unit left. There you are. I think that's his general unit there. That's the only rallied unit that he's got left there. And look, if you notice JGP with his elite Roman army there, he's got 1, 2, 3 units left, all very battle damaged as well. So that just goes to show how much of a battle of attrition and a grinding down battle this really was there. As I say, you can see all that Danny's still got a lot of his infantry left, and if we look at the dead here, we can see where the most concentrating of the fighting was here, just by the amount of dead. There's the elephants there. As I say, that elephant strike, I think if that had been combined with the Sassanid cavalry, that would have been a definite win for them there, because you could see the effect that elephant hit had. I'd like to know the kills that elephant had as well, because that was just absolutely massive there, wasn't it? And over here, this is where my army was hit by Scorpion King SR's Ostrogoth army there. And luckily I had reinforcements from my allies come over here, so we could actually hold the left flank and take out all that Ostrogoth army there. So as I say, I just wanted to show this battle here because I just thought you'd like to see how good Barbarian Invasion is that we play on a Sunday night. We still play Rome Total War every Friday and Saturday, and we have great battles on that. But Sunday nights we really enjoy Barbarian Invasion as well. Okay, first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. Bearing in mind it's all experimental, we're all learning this game, so, you know, army builds and tactics and strategies, you know, are still evolving. And as you can see, it was a close victory there. So, but I guess we would guess that anyway, seeing the battle there. Very unusual to get close victories, or close games in general on Barbarian Invasion. Highest kills in the game goes to Brotherhood member TR with his Sassanid army, his faction of choice, 2,031 kills. And as I say, I'd love to see what that elephant kill was in the statistics, like, because that was absolutely massive, that elephant hit there. So well done to TR there, highest kills in the game. Well done to Barclayman there. Possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to, but I thought he was very aggressive with his faction of choice, Saxons. The Saxons are his faction of choice. Well done to Cormac. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to, but let's be honest, he was facing 2 elite Roman armies there, so I think he held really well. And well done to Scorpion King SR. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to either, but in a combination with my allies there, we did manage to rout most of his, well, all of his army there on that left flank. So really well played, guys. My kills there with that Frankish army, not too bad there, especially when we saw most of my infantry routing after that big hit. Well done to JGP there. Did well. I think that's the first time he's used a Roman army on BI. Well done to Danny, second highest kills in the game with his Roman army. So really well done to him. And well done to Firstprime as well with his Alemanni army. So really well played, guys. Diverse battle as well. Look, we had Franks, Rome, and Alemanni on our team. And they had Sassanids, Saxons, Rome and Ostrogoths on their team there. So I say very diverse. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Barbarian Invasion battle. Please give us a thumbs up if you did. And as you can see, we have great fun on a Sunday night. See you soon. Bye for now.